All right, welcome back. So President Trump's pick to lead the Federal Reserve, Kevin Warsh, facing some tough questioning today up on Capitol Hill. Senators pressing him on whether he could keep the Fed independent from political pressure. Warsh saying he would, promising to be, quote, strictly independent if confirmed. But when asked whether that independence would extend to interest rate decisions, the exchange then got heated.
Who's lying here? Is it you or the president? Because the president confirmed that he did ask you to cut interest rates.
I stand by every word I said. The president never asked me to commit to any such thing, nor would I ever do so.
Warsh does have bipartisan support for confirmation, but Republican Senator Tom Tillis is blocking the nomination until a Department of Justice investigation into the current chair, Jerome Powell, is dropped, something that President Trump is not entertaining at this time, or at least the administration. Joining us now, Peter Navarro, senior counselor to the president for trade and manufacturing. Hello, sir.
Good to be with you, Blake.
Lot to get to on a day where there's actually a lot of economic news. Sure. Most people don't know Kevin Warsh. They just want to know, am I going to be paying more or less for things, especially with their interest on maybe a mortgage, a car, a loan, et cetera. Is the expectation from the White House that when he gets in, interest rates suddenly drop?
They should drop, because they should have dropped a long time ago. And the thing about the current situation that people understand is that there's a perception that because we were undergoing an oil price shock because of the war, that somehow that's going to create upward pressure on interest rates. It's just the opposite. When both Ben Bernanke and Alan Greenspan experienced oil shocks during their tenures as Fed chair, and those two were pretty good at what they did, they explicitly said, no, we're not going to raise interest rates, we're actually going to lower them. It's like that stays out. This idea, Blake, this idea of Fed independence, like existing now, is the biggest bunch of BS, because it was Jerome Powell that was dependent. He showed it on what the Biden White House wanted. And no better evidence of that is when Powell wanted to get reappointed during Biden's term, he basically didn't raise interest rates fast enough. That let the Biden inflation out, and it's crazy.
How low and how fast do you expect them to go?
Well, if you look at I've said 100 basis points, and I've been saying that for like 6 months now, and then that's about right. It's just things don't square. And what's interesting about the inflation data is we're seeing a steady downward trend in the core, which is what you want. And we're pretty close to target. Now we're having a little volatility, like the PPI was up, but that was from, again, the oil.
That's wholesale prices.
PPI, sorry.
Right, no, that's okay.
PPI feeds the CPI, right, and then, you know, yeah.
Okay.
So, but we're having a tremendous productivity boom because of all the investment. Investment is the key to keeping inflation down. We're getting rid of a lot of regulations. And on the spending side, it's like we just got the biggest tax cut in American history in the rebate check. So, and we had retail sales come out today, and they were above expectations.
So you talk about the rebate checks. There's a story, obviously, in the news about the tariff refunds for the companies, right?
Sure.
$166 billion in tariff refunds to call it 330,000 or so importers who are eligible. That's on the company side. On the individual side, our audience who's at home watching tonight, the president had talked about, for example, for a long time, a tariff dividend. Here he was over time.
Next year is projected to be the largest tax refund season ever, and we're going to be giving back refunds out of the tariffs because we've taken in literally trillions of dollars, and we're going to be giving a nice dividend to the people.
Is the idea of a tariff dividend dead or alive?
Oh, it's alive. And
when is it coming then?
Hang on, let me explain something. Like strategically, we understood when we did the IEEPA tariffs, which are the ones the Supreme Court shut down, we understood that there's a possibility SCOTUS would act like that. And meantime, we put in place all these other steps. So it's kind of a seamless transition to the different kinds of tariffs that will essentially cover a lot of the same things. And we're raising a ton of money for the American people. At the same time, we're protecting American workers. And so that money is going to be available for a lot of different things, funding our government, but also for possible rebates.
A check in the mail? to people?
It's going to be up to the boss. Let's not get ahead of him. The point here is that we're gone from a world in which they take advantage of us, steal our jobs, steal our factories, to a world in which we're defending our jobs and factories and raising tariffs that the foreigners are paying, and we win.
Let me ask you about Operation Arctic Frost. There was a Senate hearing up on Capitol Hill today in the Senate Judiciary Committee about Arctic Frost, a 2022 FBI investigation looking into efforts to contest the 2020 election. Republicans describe it as essentially overreach or weaponization. The DOJ says it was legitimate. These are some of what Republicans say: law enforcement built political enemies list, effort to identify, intimidate, bankrupt, and jail Trump allies, and that the FBI spied on 8 Republican senators' cell phones. Here were the arguments on both sides up on the Hill today.
The Biden administration was not just investigating a crime. They were seeking to dismantle a political movement.
The question here that you laid out recites normal investigatory steps that are taken.
See,
Welch
is an idiot. Again, normal steps, if you actually look at the data, what they did was they went in and just used and abused all the elements of government to put wiretaps and everything on the Republican National Committee, on the Attorneys General's organization, for the Republicans, on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. The bigger picture here, Blake, mark my words.
Okay.
This is going to make Watergate look like nothing.
So that was the line. Even Ted Cruz said that today, but I'm reading here Fox News article. Former special counsel Robert Hur saw toll records during his investigation. Robert Menendez toll records were used. First Trump administration subpoenaed phone records of Swalwell, Schiff, and congressional staff.
Here's the point. This is there's a big matrix out there made up of a bunch of dots. I'm one of the dots. They went after me. I go to prison. Bannon. They went after Trump, Eastman, Clark. All of these folks they went after. What we're discovering because of Chuck Grassley is all this released documents which show a handful of people that were responsible for not just me and the president, whatever, all these operations going back to 2016, whether it's Crossfire Hurricane, the Russia hoax, and this, to Arctic Frost, the Crossfire with the Crimson River. The point is that, as the Senator Eric Schmidt said today, and I was really impressed with him, it's a weaponization of government for partisan purposes, and this is going to break within about 2 to 4 weeks. You're going to see things that'll really just amaze and disgust the American people with respect to what was done. Mark my words here, okay? That's what's coming out of this. I'm glad you're covering this tonight.
All right, we'll leave it there. Peter Navarro,
Thank
you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.